Hello. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. If you can hear me, please type in yes. If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes so that I can start off. If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. Good morning. Thank you for joining. You're welcome to Daily Forex Review with. Good morning. You're welcome to plan your trade your plan. Daily Forex Review with Great White for the 1st of May 2019. Wish you all a beautiful Workers' Day. So, without much delay, let's start off. Hope you all have gone through this, so you have an idea of what the Forex market is all about. Then the next thing we do is we move over to our economic calendar. Well, seems to have major bank holidays today, but the US banks will be open. So, today is Wednesday. We have fireworks, FOMC from 7. So the market might be a bit calm today. The market might be a bit calm till the FOMC results have been released. Then by 9:15, the BOC, Bank of Ghana. Okay, these two might be important. So we have ISM manufacturing PMI by 3 p.m. and at 7 p.m. we have FOMC statement. So we need to be aware of this time. And most of the European banks, French, German, Italian, they'll have bank holidays. So let's see how the day goes. So that aside, we go down into our chart. So going down into our chart, looking at, as we always start with the dollar index. Looking at the dollar index, we can see that it broke right through this previous series of highs. So it's now, and it's pretty bearish. So it now turned these areas into resistance and it's finding support at this level. So what you'll be waiting for is a move away from this place, from this support at 97.46. As we can practically see now, the dollar index is showing dollar weakness. So we might see a bit of correction to the upside before a continuation of the down move on the dollar index. Now the dollar index is showing a bit of weakness. The next pair we'll be looking at is gold. We look at gold from a daily point of view. Look at gold from a daily point of view. We can still say that gold's bullish bias is slightly still intact on the day, because if you observe, for the past 1, 2, 2, with today inclusive 3, all the activity has been within the range of this big bullish anchor candle here. So, having done that, go back to my setups. So until the open price of this anchor candle here, the open price is at this lower area here. Let me indicate it. The open price is somewhere here. Let me use a different color, green. Until this open price is taken out, if you don't get the close on the daily below this open price, gold still has a bullish bias. The bullish bias on gold is still intact. So what do we have? We have a bit of a sideways movement. This area, 1278 is acting as support, 1285 is acting as resistance. So this is the range on gold for now. Next pair we're looking at is the USDCHF. Looking at the USDCHF, let me hide all those and I can look at it from the daily. Weeks on both sides, indecision in the market. Weeks on both sides, signaling serious indecision in the market. And if I put in my markdown levels, I can find out that the support zone on the USDCHF is between 1.0184 and 1.0177. That seems to be the support area. And the first level of resistance here is 1.0198. Let me readjust this. While the next level of resistance comes in at 1.0213. So these are basically the potential levels of importance on the USDCHF. Next we'll be looking at is EURUSD. So this, we go to the daily to get the idea. The EURUSD closed pretty bullish, but it has this area here. This area here, it needs to clear it. It needs to clear it. So that area that I was talking about comes in at 1.1227. That area comes in here. Price needs to clear that area to continue its up move. So you have your first resistance at this level, your second resistance, your first support at this level. Should price break above 1227, its next target might most likely be 1.1244. But if this level at 1227 holds as resistance, then you may see price drop down to test 1196, which is close to the psychological level of 1200. If this 1200 fails, then we know we might see 1176 on the EURUSD. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPUSD. Looking at the GBPUSD daily time frame, I see price closed pretty bullish yesterday, but due to the location of these moving averages, we might see a bit of a pullback. We might see a bit of a pullback. Given the size of this candle, we might see a bit of a pullback for the continuation of. And where might our possible levels of continuation be? There is a trend line running from this point to this point. As you can see, it's giving price a bit of concern with this moving average, 200 moving average on the 4 hour. So what we expect is, should this level hold as resistance, this is the first plausible level of support zone. This is the first support zone on this pair. That's between 1.3034 and 1.3019. Should this level hold as support, then price might most likely move higher. Move higher to either of these levels mentioned out here. But should this level of support fail, then most likely price might most likely come back down to 1.2975. Or, like I would always say, if you have no idea of what to do, you just go to your daily time frame. When you go to your daily time frame, on only the candle of yesterday, you pick the low to the high, note it, then wait for price reaction, because there might be a bit of a pullback. So when that pullback happens, you need to find out at what point you might be looking to enter the market. So you have the 38.2. I'm trying to get this thing to well position. Trying to get this flip. Trying to get this flip so this is better. So 38.2 comes in at this psychological level, 1.300. 61.8 comes in at 1.2974, while the 50% comes in at 1.2988. So these are levels on this pair that you should be watching to see what happens there. So knowing that, we can put a line here at this level so that we have an idea of what we're expecting there. So we put a level here. So price may likely come down into this area. And if this 1.3, this psychological level at 13,000 hold, price may move back up. But if it should fail, then price might most likely come down lower. So that's it for the GBPUSD. The next part we're looking at is EURGBP. Looking at the EURGBP from a daily point of view, we can see that yesterday's candle closed pretty bearish. As you can see, looking at it, closed pretty bearish, and there's a possibility of it going down. But there might be a possibility also that you may have price correct a bit into this candle. Price may correct a bit into this candle. So knowing that, what do? Always from the low to the high, you pick this in addition to the levels that you might have on your chart. Then you drop down to your lower time frame. When you drop down to your lower time frame, as you can see, I thought it's upside down. I think I can reverse this thing. I don't reverse it. Yes, I reversed it. So the first level of resistance lines up with the 61.8, as you can see here. Lines up with the 61.8, that is at 86.25. The 38.2 comes in at 86.13. The 50% comes in at 86.20. So price may most likely rally up to either of these points before continuing down. So that is what you need to be aware of on this pair. You need to be pretty much aware of that possibility on this pair. Next, we'll be looking at this GBPCHF. Looking at the GBPCHF from a daily point of view, you can see that yesterday's candle closed pretty bullish, taking out this prior high, which means that there's a possibility that price may be eyeing this area, this topmost area. So given the size of the candle, you might see a bit of a pullback. You might see a bit of a pullback on this candle. So what do? Same way from the bottom. I think it's like this because I reversed it. So you go from right to left. That's from the bottom to the top. Because what you're expecting is possible areas of price finding support. So having done that, drop down to the 4-hour chart. Are you possible the 1-hour chart? So when we do that, we find out that our first level of support comes in at 1.3274. The 38.2 comes in at 1.3258, while the 50% comes in at 1.3243. The 50% lines up with our second level of support. So price might most likely either drop down to this level and move up, or may drop down to this area and move further up. So that is it for the GBPCHF. But you should be well aware that a move above 33,808 may bring price this high. May bring price to test 33.46. And if that level gives way, then you know the next level of resistance comes in further higher. But you need to be aware there is a trend line here. And that trend line is running from this high to this point. that trend line has an intersection at this area. So you just need to be aware of that. You need to be aware of the possibility of price running up into this area. But for now, we have a bullish bias on the GBPCHF. Next we're looking at is the EURAUD. Looking at the EURAUD, look at it from a daily point of view. Yesterday's candle has kind of spinning top handle, spinning top slash doji body. So what do we make from this? Basically, not much. I can't use a fib here, so I can just only put in my level. So if I put in my levels, my first level of resistance, let me get rid of this. My first level of resistance on this pair comes at 0.7059 at this level, and my support zone comes in at 0.7036 and 0.7027. Should this support area fail, then price is coming down to this next point. But should this resistance area here, if price should break above here, then you know price is coming up to either of these uppermost resistance areas as the case may be. So that is it for the AUDUSD. Next pair I'll be looking at is the USDJPY. Looking at the USDJPY, drop down to our daily time frame. Let me hide all the two. We drop down to our daily time frame. Now this gets interesting. Oh, the USDJPY may move higher. This is the daily 50 moving average. It's acting as support. It's acting as a good support. So knowing that, I pull back my levels. If I pull back my levels, I go down to the 4-hour time frame. You can see we have a support structure at that area coming up from this high. If you ask me, this pair is moving up for now. Where will he be? Where is he most likely moving up to? I can't see for now. Let me get rid of this. It might be coming up to this level here. It might be coming up to 11170. For now, it's a bounce. It's bouncing up. How high he will bounce, I can't say. But for now, it's bouncing up. Based on what I've seen from the daily time frame, it's going to bounce up a bit. So we might see a bit of a correction up before a continuation move down on this pair. And let me also look at this. Let me also look at this. Look at this pair from this point of view. Okay, try using a feed there. Let me look at this. Let me look at this. Well, there's a trend line broken here, but there is a longer term trend line here. There is a longer term trend line here, and we have another trend line running from here to here. This has been broken, but right now price is finding support at this level. So there are two options here. I need to check out something using my fibs. From this point to this point, voila, just as I had suspected. No, let me change this. My showing me reverse. Okay, so just as I suspected, that was why I decided to pull my fib. That was something I was suspecting. Price is sitting above the 38.2 of this move. This entire move here is 38.2, and below that 38.2, you have the 50%. So invariably, you would see a bounce higher on this pair. And if you notice, this big bearish candle, the low of this big bearish candle was not picking up, which points to the fact that you may still see a higher move. So most likely, you might see price come to 1177, just like as I had aligned here, somewhere here. You might see price come up to this level. That's if a retest of this trend line fails. If price is able to break up back above this broken trend line, it may move higher. But should it get rejected from this trend line, then we may see a continuation to the downside. That is it for that pair. The next pair we'll be looking at is Euro Yen. Over to the daily, then hide all this. So look at the Euro Yen from a daily point of view. It's pretty bullish. As you can see, this is a morning star formation, pointing to possible still further move to the top side. It still has possible further move to the top side. So knowing that, we switch to our levels, pick up. So knowing that on this pair, these are our levels, these are our possible levels of interference here on this pair. Price seems to be going above our first level of resistance. First level of resistance at 125.09. The second level of resistance comes in at 125.37. For now, this pair is pretty bullish. If it gives you a bit of a correction down, then you look to take the move to the upside. You look to take the move to the upside. For now, this channel, there's a channel here. Let me zoom out a bit so you can see. There's a channel here that price broke up. Price came back down here. See, price moved up. But now price has broken back into the trend line. And that trend line is not, channel top is not so far away. It's intersecting with these static resistances. So you need to note this level too. It may give price a bit of some challenge. So these are your possible levels. Should price fail from this area, its first support comes in at 124.82 and this next level. So that is it for that pair. The next one we're going over to is EURGBP yen, pound yen. Going to the pound yen from a daily point of view, you can basically see this pair is pretty bullish. As you can see, it's already moved. Pretty bullish. It dropped a bit, then took off. So this pair has a potential to still move a bit higher. It has the potential to still move a bit higher. Something I'm noticing on this pair. So let's see. Let me see. So going down to my 1 hour time frame. Well, price still has a potential to still move higher. It might be targeting this level here, either 145.66 or 145.77. Either of those two levels. And I think I made a note on that pound yen. Okay. So it might be coming up to this level, but for now, this pair is pretty bullish. So what you'll be waiting for, if it gives you a dip and you find bullish evidence, you take the long to the top side. For now, he has a bit of a bullish bias on this pair. So the next pair we'll be looking at is EURAUD. I'm looking at the EURAUD. The EURAUD was bullish yesterday. Yes, bullish yesterday, but he has a long upper wick. A long upper wick, which if you look at this area, has been giving a bit of a resistance. Giving a bit of a resistance. So we go over to 4-hour chart and I pull back the levels. If I pull back the levels, and we find out that we're having let me put this properly. Okay, level here is a bit of importance. So drop down to a 1 hour chart. If we drop down to a 1 hour chart, you can see price is using that level I just put in now for support. But if you observe, there is a falling trend line. The trend line is running from this point to this point. Price came up to it here, dropped, came back for a retest, as you can see here. So you may be looking at a possible double top at this area, as you can see. Possible double top at this area. But for now, it still has a bit of a bullish bias. So this area becomes support. Let me comment on that support. So this is what you expect. Should price drop down into this area, it may find support to test this trend line. But should this support break, wait for a break retest and they move lower. That's just it for this pair. That's what you just need to be aware of on the euro or euro AUD. That's the euro Aussie. That's just what you need to be aware of for now. The pair is in a bit, couldn't continue the up move yesterday, so it might drop a bit. Then after that drop, it might continue higher. But as long as it stays below this trend line, it has a greater potential of really going down lower. The next one we're looking at is the GBPAUD. Looking at the GBPAUD from a daily point of view, as you can see, price broke out of this little channel here. There's a price action for this move. I don't have it off hand now, but you can see price broke off it and took off. So most likely price is going higher. So on this pair, you'll be looking for any pullback and an opportunity to buy. Like I've always said, this is large bullish momentum candle. So what you do is you pick your feet from the low to the high, you mark it up, then you drop down to your 1 hour time frame. When you drop down to your 1 hour time frame, what you'll be looking for is possible levels of support. So I have my first level at 1.8441. In between that 1.84, above it I have 38.2. Below it I have the 50%. And then I have this channel. So price may try to come down to retest this channel before going up, as it is below a big resistance area. As you can see, price has not been able to break above it. So price may drop a bit, gather momentum, and then come back up for the level. So let me put something here so that you guys can see the resistance level that I'm talking of. Resistance zone is this is the resistance zone between 85.04 and 85.48. That's where the resistance zone is. And above that, you have other levels of resistance as well. So the next pair I'll be looking at is the USDCAD. Looking at the USDCAD tumbled yesterday. Tumbled. For those of you that trade this pair, have been a good opportunity. So for here now, you need to be a bit careful. It is coming into the daily 50 moving average, and that is at 3359. Might encounter a bit of a bounce and might turn it back to the upside. So put back my levels. So this prior, as at the time I drew this, it hasn't broken below this. So for now, price is at the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. That might give it a bit of a lift. And if that should happen, then this level here will turn to resistance. So if price is able to move back above this level, comes back for a retest and it acts as support, then you know price will move higher. But if price tests this level and gets rejected, then it's coming down to this level. So that's just the game plan for this pair. So the next pair is a GBPCAD. Looking at the GBPCAD, just like the Euro USD card, this also tumbled from our earlier indicated levels. So now you'll be watching this man at this box. You know, this was a range of sorts here. So since he broke out of it, it might be a move to retest it. If it holds our support, then it's moving back. But if it fails to hold our support, then it's falling back into the trend, into the range. So that is it for that's my review for today, being the 1st of May 2019. Wish you all a beautiful Workers' Day, and may the peeps be with you today. Thank you all for coming.